It's raining. It's not a track. Those of you that listen, and there's always tweedly birds and coyotes and dogs and cats, cans and sounds and shit. They are not canned sounds. Okay, the voices that I'm doing, whatever sounds or shit they hear, it's just me talking. This is just like an audio journaling kind of. I mean, at some point, I want it to be a podcast, but I don't ever have anybody here to talk to. I'm by myself. A 7-year-old. He doesn't talk. I'm a talker. But it's like I've had several dozen concussions, so I have to speak things out loud in order to think sometimes. And then if I don't have anyone to talk back to me, it's like I can't understand what I've been going through. And then I have so many things going on in my life right now that if I didn't say it out loud, that I wouldn't even know what I'm going through. It would just fall off. And I've been recording it. And at one point, these were all private. It was like, I didn't want people to be in my intimate shit at all, ever. I'm not one of those, look what I can do. Well, I like gymnastic in front of your fucking face. Bouncing around like a fucking toy. And I'm treated so shitty right now because it's like this dumb, jealous ass bitch. It's Miranda, it's Maddie, it's Miraculous, but it's him, but it's Diego, but he's pretending to be her. And she's pretending to be me, but then they're both pretending to be me. So they have on some kind of like mask obscuring their face, and they have on gold teeth, and they're like quiet as fuck, and they're like, no. And it's like parasitic twin this and whatever the fuck, and I don't know. But there is some bullshit ass shit that has to fucking stop, because I swear if you people are this fucking stupid, there is a reason why you've been killed every fucking century or two. And I really want to separate myself from these people, because it's like going back into just being the person that's been like a fish out of water my whole life, where I was called Miss Jaws 2 as a baby. It's like, hooray, you've adopted a beautiful baby girl. We've called her Baby J or Miss Jaws 2. Oh my God, why would you call her that? Well, it was in 1978, and she's so hungry that she just gobbles everything up. It's like, fuck, how hungry does a 33-day-old baby have to be? It's like 33. It's like, well, it was a 34-day-old baby, but that's 33 days after my birth. But then it was like, what birth? Was it my rebirth, my resurrection, my baptism? It's like exercised, sacrificed, DOA, dead on arrival. Right into hell. This abysmal level is hell. It's gotta be. To be in a world where people are doing the horrible ass things that you people are doing, and things that have been happening to my son that the authorities have been shoving down his throat. Well, I know damn well his father's side of the family is involved in something on one county where they're trying to get him taken away on another county just because they know the place that he'll go is in their county and they can take him from that. Denying something's wrong the whole time, and then he's this kind of dumb, jealous ass bitch that's got a bunch of dumb, jealous ass bitches everywhere, all over my shit. They took money from us. They have businesses around the area that they own, restaurants, and we go there, and it's like, there she is. I'm gonna poison my food, I'm gonna put drugs in my food, I'm gonna put actual shit in my food. There's a lot of stuff that I know that you people are doing that I feel that you're doing when you follow me around, when you're flashing all this money that was taken from my son's Dollar Tree leg break claim. He broke his femur at that store. He was taken away from me for 2 years. Handed off to another woman that wasn't even me, that was pretending to be me, that's pretending to be me now, and she's saying that now I'm her. And I'm getting treated like shit for it. And then people are coming off the offside like, oh, we're going to recompensate you or relax on this, on this, on this. And it's some other bitch. And she's rolling around with whatever she got off of it, and it's like being waved in my face. Disrespecting us. And it's like, my son was 3.5. It's like, imagine as a parent where you have a child, one child. I have one child. I'm 45. I have one child, 7. He's autistic. He's nonverbal. But at 3, he was nonverbal. It's like he's 3. He's babbling. He's just beginning to become himself. And to be taken and kidnapped, not just taken from the CPS, but kidnapped because it was set up that I was some sort of a predator on kids, that he convinced the law enforcement and family of his to redirect the law around. And then they find my son stuck in a cage, bent with his knees back. I tell him, don't sit like that, it'll ruin your knees. Covered in shit. So dehydrated, they had to take him to the hospital. There are several murders. There are children being raped, and women are being set up to look like all kinds of things, especially me. People being lured here to talk to me, then they go to talk to one of my good friends. But then is she being paid off not to potty train my son? It'll ruin her of the joy of motherhood. Because he's 7 now, and he's not potty trained, and it makes me feel like a piece of shit when he's not. I don't care if he ever talks, really. It's like talking is talking, but I know he can. I know that his autism is really like a form of crippling anxiety because I feel it too. That's because the minute they took him away, my world crumbled. It was like to be like an older parent alone. You don't have anyone in your life, no husband or boyfriend or nothing. It was because he set it up to take him away. My only child, my son, I almost died giving birth to him in the morgue of the hospital where we were. And I was like almost 400 pounds then. But I'm an athlete. I was in water polo and swimming, and my body just naturally tends to go back to its, ideal form when I'm able to do that. That's just the person that I am here. My DNA is different. I'm adopted. I was placed here. I'm 100% European. The type of European I am is a rare type of European that cannot be cataloged in a normal way. And then the people around me are treating me like I'm the bad one because I am outside of the norm of their understanding. And I am at risk, and my son is at risk, and I have him at a school, and I know that they're watching me everywhere I go, and they are, and I know they're testing me because I can feel it. And everything around me, and nature, and life, and God tell me just to be patient, do what I'm going to do. Yet how can you believe in God, and you're running around blasting deicide, death metal, with upside down crosses and pentagrams on? God is the upside right cross in heaven. Nobody is even allowed up there. You people suck. We're the upside down cross, the reflection below. The puddle of mud. The shit. Do you think any of you deserve it? What are you doing on Christmas running around giving people presents? Presents. Like the presence of God or the presents. Shove that cross right up in there. That's like just put a stake right in the middle of everything. A big fat stake right in your heart. Fucking blood-sucking vampires. I don't even know if vampires really exist, but I feel like my soul is being just siphoned from this. Every day I wake up and I feel more angry and I'm yelling and I'm wrathful and I'm vengeful and I don't want to be. And I hate that it seems so like biblically Nostradamus or whatever, but it's like history repeats itself over and over and over again. And at the beginning of time, it's like Bible. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. But like what Bible, which one, which religion, which language, but they're all, if they're a Bible, they're basic instructions before leaving Earth. So before you die, where are your instructions? Where are you going to go? Do you know your directions? Do you have your map? It's like, I don't really think a lot of you do, but the ones that do, you should be fine. But the ones that don't, I come from outside of that timeline. I just remember being there. I remember being in the dark. I remember going through colors. I remember seeing a light go into a pyramid. It is a lot more detailed than that, but I was in a box for 3 days. They shook me in a ball of light, and then I went down a tunnel, and I was born, and I met the Pope, Paul VI, and John Paul I, although after my birth, he died right before he died 33 days after being inducted as Pope. I was adopted 33 days after my birth. They called me Miss Jaws 2. How hungry does a 33-day-old baby have to be called Miss Jaws 2? What are you supposed to do with a brand new baby? Just feed it, right? And then I find out when I regress to all these memories through just seeking the truth in myself, with truth, pure truth. I felt like the Pope at that time heard me in his head and he tried to kill himself. Well, then I found out that he actually resigned many years ago, but then he did end up dead. So I have 3 popes now. And I did say I was triple threaded, the Lamb, the Beast, and the Ghost. I don't know what it all means. It sucks. I'm doing it by myself. Jesus was here. You fucking killed him. He flooded you out. God flooded you out. Nature flooded you out. You all got killed. A mother would never allow that. She'd come right the fuck in and say, do not do that to my son. Well, because I just feel like that, and I feel like, fuck you people, I'm taking my son away from you. You're not going to touch him. You're not going to put him in your fucking school. You're not going to touch him with your fucking doctors. Leave him alone. I will not allow it. I will allow myself to be killed before you touch him again. And then it's like, Jesus was not of this world. And I was like, what does that mean? So was he an alien? I'm like, no. Back in the day, they said he was a magician. And it's like, a magician or a musician? It's like, not really either. I think he made wine, but was he a winist? What do you call someone that makes wine? I don't know, some fancy ass name for it. I don't drink wine. I can't afford it. I like whiskey. Yeah, why do people deserve presents at Christmas? I was that kid at Christmas where my parents just flooded the fucking living room with presents. But, you know, sometimes it was socks. Sometimes it was a video game. The whole thing was like, at one point, I was like, fuck, my life is like a fucking movie. It's like a song. It's like a book. It's almost like it's all of them. But that's not even possible, right? That's stupid as fuck. However, my parents are like the parents that when we were little kids, it was like me and my brother were both adopted. And it's like, my brother was the rape baby, right? I was like, and your mother was raped by her babysitter's dad or whatever, so you're a rape victim baby. That's why we adopted you. They don't want you. And then you were a bastard child. We bought you, we paid for you, we own you. We wanted a white baby. I'm sorry I was soaked in my own blood, shipped here in a fucking box. Because I am white, you know, but it's like the timeline that my bloodline comes from is from like Northern European, but it was like when civilization began, so it was like Africa. It's like the Ireland, and I'm part Ireland, but I'm part Irish, but I'm like 7% British and Irish. And then the whole Tuatha De Danann and Danu and the tribe of Dan, and then Morris's dad thought that I slept with this guy named Daniel, and I was like, I've never slept with anyone named Daniel or Dan, although Dante did used to call himself Dan just so that people didn't know who the fuck he was, if he was just trying to talk to people that he didn't want to tell his name to. Mr. I am Master of Disguisey Freak Show. Holy fuck. It's like a nightmare could never, ever compare to the life that I live. Why is a raven like a writing desk? They both have fucking legs. How is it not like a writing desk? And then I'm also sitting here because I'm like, I want to talk to the Catholic Church because it's like, I know they pay victims out for assault from, you know, things. And it's like, I don't know who to talk to about this. And I look people up, and then I get a message from the Come to Christ Latter-day Saints. And I was like, okay, well, that's cool. I have missionaries that are supposed to call me. I don't know if they're going to. Call them elders. I wonder why. Is it like Elder Scrolls? Do you have like ancient scrolls? I just wonder where Americans' ancient scrolls. It's like, America is like this blending pot that's just been blown up over and over and over again. And not just like society blown up, but like what religions were like through here. Because religion is like a cornerstone and the foundation of people's like life. And it's like, I know what it is that I bring with the darkness that I have within me. And I feel like I have everything of all of the levels of hell that I've been through. Where it's like, in the beginning, there were 3. And 2 were like a positive and a negative. Well, the third one was also a positive. And it was such a bigger positive that the other 2 created time. And the big one created space, like a bubble that was blown up. And it came all the way back around to now. And it's just like, I remember floating away from a black hole in the sun and then opening up and then feeling like everything within me fell out, because it's like you're in the dark and you wake up and you can't move and you can't breathe and you can't talk and you don't know and you can't think. And then you just do, and then everything is, and then all of a sudden it's like, fuck, what the hell is this life? And that's where I'm at right now. But we're all pieces of it. It's just the pieces that you people have been are broken down from thousands and thousands of years. And I was somehow just lost in time, that's all. And I feel very lost and out of place right now because I have no one. Because I have no one and I have nothing. But I do have my son. And then it's like I also have the sun that's in the sky, and he's like, I'm the sun. I was like, for a minute, I was like watching the sun, and it was like a big machine. And then there were like wheels and gears and cogs and flowers and faces and numbers, and it's like, that is pareidolia. Yes, for the mentally ill. Although if you're mentally ill in the middle of the street and you're being talked to by the cops, tell them that you are a shaman and that is your religion, and you are well in your rights to practice your religion at any time that it is time for prayer. And if it's time for sacred prayer in the middle of the street with a 211 on a Tuesday, then that's what it fucking is. And then just tell them you'll go to the sidewalk and you'll just make sure that you keep it down. And then they should just let you go with a warning, right? Because why lock somebody up in jail and waste all this fucking money and resources and time? And it's like, I feel like this entire time, all this time has been wasted for 5 years. Where 5 years ago when my son was 3 and now he's 7, all these things went on. And all the things that I am, that I've been coming to, that I've been realizing, I developed a mind hack workshop that connects to myself, connects into my conscious, that seeking truth, the truth, going through the religions, going through the things that make sense, that don't make sense, and doing it honestly without putting on a facade for anybody, no masks, just myself. And I am in this place where I'm at my house, I'm at my most vulnerable. And I have been tricked because there's been surveillance put in here, audio and video. I'm not sure at what point, for how long, for either. But there were times that I was at court telling them that they were following me everywhere, that they were videotaping me on my property. And it's like, if the evidence in court is video from on my property and also from people following me around, how is it that I am delusional if I say people are following me around and filming me on my property? Yet, when I tell them that his father raped his other child and shook my son in the sink and choked me, crushed my throat, did all this other shit to all these other things, there's someone that's dead, there's like, how is it that you don't address that at that court level and then go and put him in jail? And then you sweep it up, sweep it up, sweep it up. And I get, lured on a trip where I feel like we're going to relax and we're at Avila Beach where it seems like celebrities are just looking at us because I'm wearing red. I didn't show up there in red. I just changed into my suit after I got wet. But then it was like everyone there was just in beige and gray and tan and khaki and oatmeal and cream and off-white and eggshell and what the fuck? And I was just like, I gotta get out of this outfit. These people suck. So I did. But then I guess that's why they thought that I was like not me and that I was one of my friends' daughters or I was one of my own daughters just because I don't seem like my age. But it's like, what is your age anyway? You just grow up and become the boring dress barn? Nothing against the dress barn. I'm just saying it's like you just grow up and become this ideal of something. And it's like, I've never thought to be anything else other than myself. Like, when you're little and they're like, who's your hero? Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? It's like, fuck me in the future. Who else would you want to be? Anyway, I'm just pissed because there's all this stuff going on and it looks like there's nothing going on. And I know the military are involved because I know that they know that I flew my dad's truck down the road to Avila Beach, 18 to 24 inches off the road at several spans at the time. I can hear the chatter, not hear, but feel the chatter of like the 911 calls that they're trying to consolidate into some sort of file where it's like, she's driving off the road, she's flying down the road. Who is it flying down the road? They're flying down the road, they flew off the road. It looks like they're floating. They're boosters or they jump. It's a truck. Is it big wheels? It's not big wheels. Is it a monster truck? It's not a monster truck, but it seems like it is. It's just really high off the road, but there's a lot of that. I did that also in this other car. It's like, how am I doing that? I don't know. But from 3 fucking years ago, like, if the military is involved and you're still not here with people to take me to like a secure place, it's like, all I said is I need is like something like the Big Brother house that is like, I feel safe but not like suffocated where the ceiling is open but I can go outside if I want to, but I don't really need to. You can escort me places if I have to. All I want is a pool and a hot tub and the ability to cleanse and relax and do artwork and music, and then have my son do a detox and shit too, because his autism is a crippling anxiety. He's been through a lot. He's been tortured and tormented and poked and prodded and possibly kidnapped and taken to Mexico to be sterilized, because the bloodline that I come from is just, that's what you people do. You attack it, you kill it, you hurt it. I don't know why. It's just like a reactionary thing. And it's like, didn't they say that Jesus went to hell after you killed him? Well, guess what? We're in hell right now, motherfuckers. That's where it is. And those of you that don't know where you're going to go, you're going to purgatory, which is worse than hell. It's just like that empty space where there's nothing. And that is where I come from. And that is where nightmares are. And I am filling it with as many nightmares as I can. Mainly because I thought, like, as a creative person, the best way to use the levels of devils in hell, that torture and torment that these horrible spirits want to get out their carnage in, is letting the children know that there are those things under the beds and in the closets, but especially in the heads of the people that would hurt them. So those of you that want to lurch around on children and predator and prey upon their innocence, you are going to have nightmares. I will demand they give you nightmares. I've been demanding that they give you nightmares until the end of your life. So if you were one of those people and you were having horrible nightmares, or you're screaming, wrapped with torture and demons, torturing you with your relatives, with your kids, with just the most disturbing things you can ever imagine, all the horror movies, like, I don't want to freak people out, but it's a good way to use it. And then, you know, elderly and handicapped, those spirits that are there, they don't really understand, like, age, right? So there are spirits that will possess children, that will possess elderly. And I never really understood that. They didn't understand it. A live body is a live body. A dead body is a dead body. That is all. And so I've let them know that those that are more innocent, that have not experienced certain things that they crave, that they need, that they want, they cannot get it from those because they're new, just like them. So if they want to be born like this in here, they can't encroach their way upon them. And what they do is they get inside the mind like worms, like infested fucking parasites in people, where they start to notice certain things about people, younger or innocent, that they like, that they want, that they need, that they think about all the time. It's disgusting. But these are the demons and things that I have faced. And it's like, I've been going through the religions, and it's like, you have the snake handlers, and I was always like, that's fucking disturbing, but it's like, you're holding the sins. But it's like, you're holding the sins. So hold that sin, that lust, that wrath, that pride, that whatever it is. I don't know all the sins. But face the sin, not the snake, and cast it down from you. And it's gone. You don't need to test yourself with its venom. The venom is the doubt that you have that you need the proof. That's why you never see it. And that's the cow on the hill. That's not a canned sound. It does sound like it, though. The nature does speak like that through me. It's like Snow White and Cinderella, and it's like, where are the Cinderella mice and birds that clean my house? That's what I fucking need, right? It's like I live in a shack in this fucking farmhouse my dad grew up in. It's like 100 years old, that was renovated, and his father choked him in the sink and embezzled the money from us. He broke his leg, and it was like billions of dollars from Dollar Tree. That's why they're $1.25 tree, and then he's running around spending it on cars and businesses and shit, where people that work there know that I'm coming in. They think I'm me or someone else, and they put stuff in my food. Drugs in some places, because they think if CPS comes, hey, look, we drug tested her. She's high and her son's high. Take him away. But I'm not, though. And they know that, and that's why they were trying to test me with that, but I'm not going to feel that way, though. And in other places, they were at his school, in his class. He was getting drugged. He was getting stabbed with a pen, like an Ozempic pen. It's like, oh, we're going to calm them down with a clicker, click, click. But it was a coordinated thing, because some of those aides that were in that class, that were the assistants, they were just put in there by his dad, he rented a house across the street. Like, there is so much shit that he did that I keep telling the RoboCops at all of the corners. It's like, hey, RoboCop, are you addicted to the spice? Not the spice channel, but the spice, the drug. I'm not on drugs, but do you want to be fired or what? Because if you don't come the fuck through and let anybody know that all this shit's connected, we're being tested right now. I was being told that this small area is a testing ground for like Taco Bell and this and that. And everything that I'm going through is being reflected all the way up through society. And what you choose to do here with your fucking life and your choices is going to dictate what happens to us and ours. We are right now at the apocalypse, and I'm like, damn, do you really want it to rain fire from the heavens? It could. It could be fire. It could be World War III. There is World War III right now. And I'm like, I do not condone war at all. But fuck, if you do not get your fucking nose out of everyone else's business in the whole fucking world and lay down your arms for peace, why don't you ask them where you can put a pallet and then give them clothes and shoes and food and stuff that they may need instead of blowing them up? And then redirect all that extra money and shit that's going on to what's happening here. Because what I can do with the technology, the information that I can pick up, I get it for the Akashic Records. But I also come from outside of this realm, and my frequencies and my ability to understand spiritually and just above a level where humanity is, I'm sorry to separate myself away from that, but I've been here this whole time. It's just that we're in a day and age where there's like AI and 5G and the frequencies that things emit, they mess with people. And there are people that have a spiritual nature that resonates at high levels. No matter what religion they are. There's Mormons and Muslims and Indians and Christians and Buddhists and Baptists and Hindus. And there's like a whole, if you made a periodic table of all the religions and then had like an emissary of each one go to like a meeting where they all like just communed, but it was like a picnic and fun. That's the way it needs to be. Because you don't spell God with just the letters. Who's God, Allah, Yahweh, like Krishna. I mean, like how many names are there for God? Use the whole alphabet. And then it's like Earth. It's about ready to be fucked up, blown up. You blow up Earth, you spell Earth, E-A-R-T-H. All those letters go all over the place. But if you very, very gently take that H at the end of time and bring it back over to the beginning and very carefully nudge it in there, it spells heart. And it's got the whole world in his hands. Like, I'm a messenger here. My name is Joni. I'm just a messenger. I bring you tools. The stuff that I have, I don't know how I have it. I just have it. I have access to it. And I've been told that I have the voice to give it to you. Whether or not you choose to see it is what you choose to do. And I'm not going to lie to you just because I don't lie to my son and I don't want to leave him in this piece of shit world for you to treat him like I've been treated this whole time. I know it's like so fucking intense, but then it's also really irritating because no one's here to hear it. I'm just by myself all the fucking time. Anyway, the frequency that the 5G emits is like an oxygen gobbling Pac-Man. Some frequency specialists developed it so that it just travels quickly through little bursts of whatever. It doesn't directly like kill you, but what it does is it takes oxygen away from the air, from this, from that, and just one tower is not going to do that. But 1,000 towers, taking out 1,000 of them, suffocates the earth we live on, we live in, and inside of us. And then when people get sick and there's germs in the air, it's like pneumonia. You have all these technologies of microwaves and whatever that radiate the pneumonia, like a very accelerated sickness, and then it's COVID. And then during COVID, people that had it, you put them into ventilators. But if people were suffering from oxygen deprivation, would you put them in ventilators? And then you're giving people injections that have aluminum and formaldehyde, and certain religions don't allow that, mainly because they don't want that in their body, because I don't feel like I want certain things in my body because I feel like my blood is sacred. I do feel like my body's my temple. I am running it right now with alcohol and tobacco and things, and I want to cleanse and be pure and work out and get back to how I'm supposed to be, because I promised Jesus I would do that for his birthday. Well, right now I am at a vegetarian diet that I will start on Christmas Eve. Well, I will light a candle and I will do like a little promise ceremony to him. And then for 45 days I'll do a vegetarian diet, and if I can cleanse and juice and stuff along the way and veganize, I will. But children and people that are mentally ill and elderly and also just of a pure nature that resonate with a frequency that isn't bogged down by all the technologies where they just don't have that there. Everyone on earth is affected by it. There are channels of energy that go through this earth that aren't connected by wires, and people that are just aligned up through the hills, through canyons, or ley lines on the earth, where they are just feeling like they feel the burden of everything that's going on